We'll begin our class either in a seated or reclined position, whatever you prefer. Choosing a shape that allows you to feel settled and grounded. And we'll take a moment to maybe close the eyes, allow your attention to turn inward. And we'll scan through the body, noticing each and every place where the body touches down on some kind of support. Noticing your connection with the ground. Noticing where part of the body touches another part of the body. And at each and every of those points of contact, let yourself get a bit heavier, a bit more settled, a bit more connected. And as you ground down at each point of contact, taking a moment to scan the body around that area. And notice if there's any sense of tension or holding on. And as you acknowledge the support that's beneath your body, see if you can allow yourself to soften, letting some of that tension drain out of the body into the ground. Letting the muscles soften and letting the body sink even deeper, getting heavier at each one of those points of contact. And as you continue to settle in, allow the muscles of your face to soften. Release the jaw open. The shoulders soften down the back. And allow the arms to hang heavy. Creating a sense of softness and openness along the front of the body. And then without trying to change anything, let's turn our awareness to our breathing. Noticing how the body feels as you inhale and exhale. And if you do notice that your breathing is a bit quick or a bit shallow this evening, try drawing the next inhale a bit more deeply into the body. As you inhale, visualize the air traveling down the back of the throat, filling up the lungs, traveling down the length of the spine. Diaphragm presses down and belly rises. And as you exhale, move in the reverse, let the belly soften, let the air travel all the way up the length of the spine. As the lungs empty, the ribs soften, and the air travels back up and out. As you inhale slowly, carefully filling the body up. And as you exhale, slowly, carefully releasing. Allowing the breath to be slow and steady. But not so slow or so deep that it feels forced. Finding a comfortable rhythm. And as you continue to breathe, continue to be aware of the sensation of the movement of the body. Noticing how the body moves as you inhale and exhale. And noticing any sense of resistance or tightness as you breathe. Scanning around the front and back and both sides of the rib cage. And around the belly, low back, and sides of the hips. And when you're ready, we'll start to invite a little bit of movement back into the body, gently wiggling fingers and wiggling toes. Maybe circling wrists and ankles, turning the head from side to side. Notice as you started to move, did you lose awareness of your breathing? And can you bring that awareness back? And as you're moving, tuning into how the breath moves through the body, allowing the breath to be conscious and mindful. And let's bring the body all the way back to stillness. If you begin in a seated position, we'll make our way down onto the mat on our backs, moving any props out of the way. We'll come all the way down and draw the knees in towards the chest, wrapping hands either around shins or hamstrings, and perhaps rocking gently from side to side, massaging the low back. Maybe drawing the legs in close enough to massage the front of the body as well. And then we'll bring ourselves back to stillness at center. Let's release the left leg out onto the ground, keeping the right leg hugging in. You can either place the sole of your left foot down, or you can extend your left leg long on the ground, pressing your left heel forward. As we inhale, let's focus on that left leg, either pressing down into the left foot or pressing forward with the left foot. And as we exhale, we'll draw the right knee in a little bit closer, gently flexing at both ankles, letting the head and shoulders stay heavy on the ground, drawing the shoulders down the back. And if you notice your chin lifting up towards the ceiling, draw it back down towards your chest so that the back of the neck is long. Again, as we inhale, focusing on the left leg. As we exhale, focusing on the right leg. Taking a few more slow, deep breaths here. And from here, let's take the left hand onto the right knee. We'll extend the right arm out to the right side, either in a T shape or cactus shape. We'll stack the right knee over the right hip, so that right knee is around a 90-degree angle. As we inhale, looking straight up, and as we exhale, guiding that right knee across the body, coming into a gentle twist. So you might find that your shoulders want to shift a little bit towards the left side of the mat so that they line up over top of the hips. Feeling free to do so. If you'd like to support your right knee, you can place a block or a cushion underneath of it. We'll let the left foot relax as much as possible so the left leg is heavy, it's not engaged. And then the left hand can either rest on the right knee or you can take it out into a T or a cactus as well. You can choose to look up towards the ceiling or you can turn your gaze towards the right side, maybe looking towards your right fingertips or allowing your eyes to close. As we inhale here, feeling how the body expands. You might even notice that your right leg wants to twist a bit. Maybe letting that happen, and then as you exhale, drawing the lower belly in and allowing that right knee to float even closer to the ground. As we breathe in, creating some space, and as we breathe out, finding softness in the body. Gradually working our way into the pose, never forcing a twist. Let's count 5 more slow, steady breaths on this side, focusing on taking full, deep inhales and complete exhales. Whenever you finish your 5 breaths, bringing that right knee all the way back up to center. Bringing the shoulders back to the center of the mat. And then we'll take the left hand down onto the left hip and bring the right elbow just inside of that right knee, reaching for the outer edge of the right foot. If it's uncomfortable to have your left leg extended, you can always bend the knee and plant the foot on the floor. And if it's still uncomfortable with the left knee bent, you can also choose to hold on to the back of the right hamstring, letting that leg move a little bit further away from the body. Wherever you are, flexing through the right ankle so the toes draw back towards the shin. Drawing that knee towards the outer shoulder. And softening through the left hip as much as possible. Whether the knee is bent or the leg is extended, there's a little bit of a tendency to hold through the left hip. See if you can soften that. Really focus on the right side here. As we inhale, feeling the chest expand and belly rise. And as we exhale, drawing that left knee in. Let's take 1 or 2 more breaths on this side, and then we'll prepare to release. Letting go of the hand and extending that right leg out onto the ground. We'll extend the left leg out beside it. Take a moment to shift the feet from side to side. Tuning into any sensation you feel through the right leg and through the left leg. Maybe noticing any differences between one side and the other. And then bringing the legs to stillness and doing the same thing, scanning through the body. Noticing what you feel on one side, noticing what you feel on the other. And from here, let's flex at the ankles so the toes point up towards the ceiling. We'll draw the left knee in towards the body, wrapping hands around shin or hamstring. Once again, if you're not comfortable with your right leg extended, you can always bend the knee, placing your right foot onto the floor. We'll soften the shoulders down the back. Draw the chin to the heart. Let the arms hang heavy. As we inhale, let's focus on the right leg, either pressing the right heel forward or down into the mat, finding some engagement through that right leg. And then as we exhale, we'll draw the left knee in. You might notice on the inhale, the left knee floats away from the body a little bit, allowing you for a deeper movement as you exhale. If you do start to notice that your mind wanders in some of these longer held poses, noticing what draws your attention, and then guiding your attention back to the present moment, back to where you are on the mat, back to the feeling of your breath. And starting to prepare to transition into our twist, we'll take our right hand onto our left knee, extend the left arm out to the side, straightening out through the right leg if it's bent. And we'll stack the left knee over the left hip. Let's take an inhale at center, and as we exhale, we'll use the right hand to guide the left knee across the body, coming into a twist in the other direction. If you need to, shifting your shoulders slightly to the right so that they line up over top of your hip. You can choose to leave your right hand on your left leg for support, or you can extend it out to the right side. Again, arms can be in T or cactus shape, whatever feels better for you. You can choose to continue to look up towards the ceiling, or you can look over towards the left side, either gazing towards your fingertips or softening your gaze, allowing your eyes to close. And focus on the breath once again as we inhale, filling the body up. And as we exhale, finding softness, finding a bit of release. Inhaling, creating some space, maybe feeling the left leg lift slightly. And exhaling, finding softness, letting that left leg get even heavier. Using time and gravity to work your way into the pose. And when you feel ready, we'll release out of the twist, bringing that left knee back up to center. Shifting the shoulders back to the middle of the feeling. Let's take the left elbow just inside the left knee and we'll reach for the outer edge of the left foot, bringing the left knee down towards the left shoulder. You can leave your right leg extended or you can bend through that right knee, placing the foot down onto the floor. And if it's uncomfortable to hold onto the outer edge of the left foot, you could also choose to hold onto the back of your left leg, allowing for a little bit more space between the body and the knee. A little bit of a gentler stretch. Taking a moment to adjust, finding whatever position is going to work for you today. Be mindful that one side of the body might be a bit different from the other, so what you found was comfortable on the first side might not be comfortable on the second side. And then when you found the position that works for you, start to allow yourself to settle into it, getting heavier through the right hip, allowing that right hip to relax as much as possible, softening through the jaw, allowing the shoulders to remain heavy on the ground. Maybe closing your eye. And then bring the focus to the breathing. Using each inhale to create some sense of openness in the body. And using each exhale to draw a little bit of tension out, releasing what doesn't serve you. And we'll take one or two more deep breaths on this side. Drawing that left knee down. Softening the right hip down. And then when you're ready, releasing, allowing the left leg to extend out onto the ground, right leg beside it. We'll start again on this side, shifting feet from side to side, slowly and gently. Noticing any sensation through the hips, through the legs, through the feet. Noticing any differences from one side to the other. And then coming back to stillness and completing the same scans. Checking in at different joints, different muscles. Noticing how you feel on the right side, noticing how you feel on the left side. And from here, when you're ready, we'll roll over onto the front of the body. Making our way onto our stomach. And bringing elbows to rest underneath our shoulders, coming into a Sphinx pose. If it's uncomfortable to have your elbows directly under your shoulders, you can slide them a little bit further forward, making the bend in your back a little bit less. Wherever you land, allow your fingers to be spread, but softly. Allow them to rest comfortably on the ground. Draw the shoulders down and back, pressing the chest forward. And for just a moment, we'll find a little bit more engagement through the body. So we'll press down into the tops of the feet, feeling the quads engaged, maybe the kneecaps lift up off the ground. And then we'll find some more engagement through the upper body, lifting the lower belly up, pressing the chest forward, getting a little bit taller and longer. As we inhale, we'll reach the crown of the head away from the toes. And as we exhale, we'll press down into the hips, draw the chest forward. Taking 1 or 2 deep breaths like that. And then we'll release that engagement. Allow your body to soften and we'll settle into the pose. In Hatha Yoga, typically we look for more engagement through the body. In Yin Yoga, we look for more softness, allowing the muscles to release and stretch. And applying a little bit more stress to the joints. And as you rest in your Sphinx pose, allow your jaw to soften. Let your gaze drift downwards and allow yourself to focus on something that's on the ground out in front of you. Allow your focus to become so one-pointed that everything around the periphery starts to blur. From here, when you're ready, start to slide the elbows out to the sides. We'll cross the forearms in front of the body and we'll allow the forehead to rest down onto the ground. Let's bend the knees and shift the feet from side to side, releasing the low back. And then we'll bring the body back to stillness. You can allow the right leg to relax down onto the ground. From here, we'll reach the left hand back towards the left foot or left ankle, taking hold wherever it's comfortable. And then draw that left heel in towards the body. You can choose to be more reclined with your upper body resting down on the ground, or you can be a bit more upright, maybe bringing that right elbow back underneath of the right shoulder. Choosing whatever option is more comfortable for you and focusing on the sensation along the front of the left hip. Finding a gentle stretch through the quad and through the hip flexors. And breathing into that sensation. Again, as much as possible, allowing the body to relax, softening the glutes, letting the right leg be heavy. And breathing slow and steady. If you notice that your mind wanders a lot, you could choose to count your breaths while you're in the pose. Or imagine yourself traveling with the breath, following the path that it takes as it enters moves through and exits the body. And let's release the left side, allowing that left leg to relax back down onto the ground, bringing the left arm forward. From here, we'll bend the right knee and we'll reach the right hand back towards that foot or ankle, taking hold wherever it's comfortable for you. You can allow yourself to rest in a more reclined position, or you can come back to a more upright shape with left elbow resting under left shoulder. Choosing whichever variation suits you better at the moment. And then again, allow your left side to soften. Allow your upper body to release. And as much as possible, allow the right side of the body to soften as well. Finding a stretch that feels so gentle that you feel as though you could rest in it for a long time. And then allow yourself to rest there. Breathe into it and gradually soften to the point where maybe you're able to go a little bit deeper. And let's release that right side. Bring the right hand forward. Let's place one hand on either side of the chest, just beneath the shoulders. And we'll press up into a tabletop for a moment. From here, we'll take the knees a little bit wider, not quite as wide as the mat, but slightly wider than the hips. We'll keep the arms pretty straight and the hips lifted as we start to walk the hands out in front of the body, coming into extended puppy pose. If it's uncomfortable to have your arms completely straight, you can bend through the elbows. If you are comfortable with your arms straight, extending your fingertips forward and then allowing your fingers to soften. With each inhale, stretching fingers away from tailbone, lengthening the body. And with the exhale, softening chest and forehead down towards the ground. Allowing the pose to become more and more passive as time passes. Breathing in, creating space in the body, extension through the spine. And breathing out, softening, releasing. Count 3 more slow, deep breaths here. And then whenever you finish your 3 breaths, slowly folding your arms, walking your arms back in towards your body. And then settling hips down onto heels, bringing big toes to connect and maybe spreading the knees a little bit wider. We'll allow the upper body to recline down onto the ground again, this time allowing the elbows to bend, maybe resting your forehead or one side of your face on the backs of your hands or stacked fists. Another option is to take your arms around the sides of your body, reaching your fingertips towards your heels. If you are taking that curling leaf variation with the arms reaching back, you might be more comfortable with your knees together. There's a little bit more room. Being mindful that sometimes having your knees together can be a little bit more intense for the low back. So if you do have any low back tenderness, maybe choosing the knees wide option with the arms extended out in front of the body. And then take a few moments to allow yourself to settle in, maybe shifting the hips side to side. And then finding stillness, allowing yourself to rest down, getting heavier through the shins, tops of the feet, getting heavier through the hips, feeling the front and or sides of the body pressing into the legs. And feel where the arms rest down on the ground. Notice what supports your head. And little by little, allow your hips to become heavier. Allow your upper body to become heavier. As you inhale, feeling the back of the body expanding as the ribcage opens. And as you exhale, find that softness. Notice how the air travels back up and out. In your own time, when you're ready, start to make your way back up to a tabletop position, taking your time. Bring knees to rest underneath of the hips. Hands to rest under the shoulders. And maybe taking a moment to move through some cat and cow or shift hips side to side, bringing a little bit of movement back into the body after that stillness. And let's bring the body back to a neutral shape. From here, we'll slide the right knee forward in between the hands and then shift the right foot out just behind the left wrist. Two choices here. You can either roll over onto your right hip deer pose. Or you can slide that left knee further back, setting up for pigeon. So if you are in pigeon, letting your right leg soften and try to find equal weight through both hips. If you are in deer pose, flexing at the right ankle and drawing that right shin out in front of the body. In either choice, you have the option to leave your hands resting on the floor with a more upright shape, or to come down onto your elbows or further. And if you are in pigeon and your left leg is extending back, stacking your heel over top of your ankle so your toes are all pressing down into the floor and reaching straight back behind you. If you are in deer pose, you may find that it's more comfortable for you to rest closer to your knee or closer to your foot or somewhere out in the middle. So playing with the placement of your hands or your elbows and finding something that works for you. In each case, looking for a gentle stretch along the outside of the right hip. Nothing too intense, something that's manageable, something that you can breathe comfortably through. Once you've found that place, finding your breath, and maybe engaging with Ujjayi breath here if that's comfortable for you. So it's that same slow, steady inhale and exhale, finding that first. And then ever so gently constricting the back of your throat as though you were trying to fog up a mirror. So it has that little bit of a sound. If you wanted to practice that first, you can actually imagine you're holding a mirror in your hand. No one's around, so you can open your mouth as wide as you want and breathe as though you're trying to fog it up. Feel that feeling in the back of the throat. Notice that sound. And then close the mouth and try to find that same sensation, that same sound. It doesn't have to be very loud. It can be very soft, in fact. The more refined it becomes, the softer it gets. And if possible, continue to breathe in and out through the nose as you engage that Ujjayi breathing. And continuing on with your Ujjayi breath if it's comfortable, or releasing it if it's not. Let's start to make our way out of the pose. Two choices for that. You can either slide your left knee a little bit further forward, come back up onto your hands, and then press up into your tabletop. Or you can roll all the way over onto your right hip, draw your legs forward, and then roll up into your tabletop. Either option is fine. We'll stack once again our wrists under our shoulders, knees under our hips. You can take a moment to shift your hips from side to side if you'd like. And then we'll bring the body back to stillness And we'll slide the left knee forward up in between the hips and shift the left foot out behind the right wrist. Option to either roll over onto the left hip and draw the right knee forward for deer pose, or to extend that right leg back, pointing the toes back behind you. If you are in pigeon pose, you can allow your your front leg to soften and relax. If you are in deer pose, try to flex at the left ankle and engage through that left leg. You can choose to stay more upright on your hands, or you can come down onto your elbows. Reminder, you can adjust the position of your hands to find something that's more comfortable if you're not completely comfortable facing forward. And then once you've found a position that's going to work for you, start to allow yourself to settle into it. Really noticing any differences from one side of the body to the other. I notice that my left hip is quite a bit tighter than my right today. So it'll take a little bit more effort to soften throughout the body. Taking the time to release through the right hip, let the right leg get really heavy. Softening shoulders down, releasing the jaw, and relaxing the muscles of the face. If you took a break from your Ujjayi breathing, feeling free to introduce it once again. Finding that gentle constriction at the back of the throat. Allowing the breath to flow in and out of the nose. And continue to expand fully as you inhale, letting that breath travel all the way down the length of the spine. And then empty completely on the exhale, letting the air up travel all the way back up and out. With each inhale, bringing fresh energy, fresh breath into the body. And with each exhale, releasing some of the tension, some of the tightness. Releasing your Ujjayi breathing and returning the breath to its own comfortable method of breathing. We'll start to walk the hands back up towards the body, and we'll shift all of our weight over into our left hip. Draw the right knee forward and extend both legs out in front of us. Stick the hands back behind us, and we'll start to bend through knees, bend through ankles. And then we'll bend the knees, placing the feet onto the floor. Take hold of the backs of the legs and start to come down onto the ground, making your way slowly all the way down. And then taking the feet mat distance apart and allowing the knees to rest against each other. Let's take the arms out into whatever shape is comfortable. So they could be as wide apart as you can get. body. It could even rest on the body if you prefer. Let's draw the shoulders down the back and press them into the mat. And tuck the chin slightly, lengthening the back of the neck. If you have any low back pain or tenderness, this is a good option for the legs. If you don't have anything that troubles your back and you'd like to take it all the way into a full Shavasana, you can extend your heels out to the top corners of your mat and allow your toes to rock open to the sides. You can choose if you'd like to close your eyes or soften your gaze, releasing the muscles of the forehead, relaxing the jaw, allowing the tongue to fall away from the roof of the mouth, letting the upper and lower surfaces of the teeth separate from one another. If for any reason you're resting in your reclined position and you're not completely comfortable there, feeling free to shift to something that is. You could choose a side laying Shavasana or a seated meditation if you'd prefer. And then we'll really start to settle down into whatever shape you're in, getting heavier through each place where the body makes contact with the ground. Allowing yourself to settle in a bit more deeply each time you exhale. As you inhale, finding a sense of lightness along the front of the body. A sense of expansion, spaciousness. And as you exhale and letting all that air back out, finding heaviness, a sense of grounding, and a sense of connection with your support beneath you. If you are still focusing on taking that breath deep, you can let that relax. Allow your breathing to return to its own natural rhythm. Allowing yourself a few moments of true rest here. Taking some time away from doing and allowing yourself to just be. Resting body and resting mind. If your attention has drifted away, bringing it back to the present moment, back to where you are on the mat, how you feel in your body. To introduce a little bit of movement, wiggling fingers and toes, really mindfully noticing how you feel as you move. Be starting to circle wrists and ankles if that's available. Perhaps turning your head from side to side. And we'll bring the body back to stillness. If you are laying on your back, taking a moment to draw your knees into your chest and roll over onto whichever side of the body is more comfortable for you. We'll pause there for a moment, adjusting to our new shape. Noticing again the support beneath the body. Each place where the body is connected with the ground or with another support. And then in your own time, coming up to a seated position that works for you. So you could choose to sit cross-legged, or you can have your legs extended. You could choose to kneel if that's more comfortable. Wherever you are, grounding through both sides of the body, moving the flesh out of the way so sitting bones can connect with the ground or whatever prop or support you're on. And then we'll bring hands together in front of the heart. I'd like to thank you for joining me and allowing me to guide you through this practice. From my light to yours, namaste.